Will the House come to order? Mr. Clerk?
Aloha and good morning. Today's invocation will be delivered by Representative Linda Ichiyama. Will the members who wish to participate please rise?
You may be seated. Good morning, members. So weird to say that, but here we are at 11:30. As we head into conference, I just wanted to say a short prayer, so if you would join me in bowing your heads. Dear Lord, please keep all of us safe and healthy. Please keep our family members healthy, our staff healthy, and may we all have a good conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Ichiyama. Mr. Clerk, item 1, please call the roll.
Mr. Ayu? Mr. Alcos? Ms. Amato? Ms. Bellotti? Mr. Chun? Ms. Cochran?
Excuse.
Mr. Evslin? Mr. Ganadin?
Excuse.
Mr. Garcia?
Excuse.
Mr. Garrett? Mr. Gates? Mr. Hashem?
Excuse.
Mr. Holt?
Excuse.
Ms. Hussey Burdick?
Excuse.
Ms. Ichiyama? Ms. Kahaloa? Ms. Capella? Mr. Kila? Ms. Kitagawa? Mr. Kobayashi? Mr. Kong? Ms. Lachika? Ms. Lamosao? Ms. Lowen? Ms. Martin?
Excuse. Present.
Ms. Martinez? Mr. Matayoshi? Ms. Matsumoto? Mr. Miyake? Ms. Mizuno? Ms. Morikawa? Ms. Nakamura? Mr. Nakashima? Mr. Nishimoto? Mr. Onishi? Ms. Peruso? Mr. Pirik? Ms. Poepoe?
Excuse.
Mr. Quinlan?
Excuse.
Mr. Saiki? Mr. Sayama? Ms. Souza? Mr. Takeyama? Ms. Takenouchi? Mr. Tam? Mr. Tarnas? Mr. Todd? Mr. Ward? Mr. Woodson?
Excuse.
Mr. Yamashita?
Excuse.
Mr. Speaker.
Present.
Mr. Speaker, 41 members are present, 11 are excused.
Mr. Clerk, please mark the presence of Representative Alcos, Hussey Burdick, and Quinlan. Thank you. Item 2, reading of the journal. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, may this matter be deferred.
So ordered. Item 3, Mr. Clerk, are there any messages from the Governor?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, we're in receipt of Governor's Message Number 1104, informing the House that the noted House bill was signed into law on April 12, 2024, and designated as Act 4. May this matter be received and filed.
So ordered. Item 4, Mr. Clerk, are there any Senate communications?
Mr. Speaker, there are none.
Members, introductions. Representative Nishimoto.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of Representative Sayama, Kobayashi, and myself, we have students from Kaimuki High School's student government here visiting the Capitol. They are here with their advisor and my longtime friend, Holly Hombo. If they could please stand, and welcome to your Capitol.
With no further introductions, let's move on to the order of the day. Item 5, Representative Nakamura.
Mr. Speaker, I move to adopt Standing Committee Report numbers 1860-24 through 1906-24 as listed on pages 1 through 15, and that the accompanying Senate concurrent resolutions, as may be amended, be referred to their designated committees.
Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Any discussion on STANCOM Report 1860-24? Next page. 1861. 1862, 1863, next page, 1864, 1865, 1866, Representative Perrick. 1867. Next page. 1868. Representative Perrick.
No vote.
So ordered. 1869. Representative Ward.
Thank you, Speaker. Probably with reservations, because I'm wondering why there is such a bill that says after we've spent $12 billion on a mass transit, we're going to say, hey, now we're going to go around the world and study what we can learn from other ones. That's kind of like out of sync with you study and then you act. This is having acted, now we're going to do a study. It's still probably going to be beneficial, but it's a little bit late. This should have come a lot earlier. For those reasons, I hope it's successful. Thank you.
1870. 1871. Next page. 1872. 1873. 1874. 187. Next page. 1875. 1876. 1877. Next page. 1878. 1879. 1880. Next page. 1881. 1882. 1883. Representative Amato.
Reservations.
So ordered. 1884. Next page. 1885. 1886. 1887. Next page. 1888. 1889. 190. 191. Next page. 1892. 1893. 1894. Next page. 1895. Representative Ward,
Speaker, I rise in strong support.
proceed.
Speaker, we have no stronger ally than Japan. This resolution will commemorate not only that relationship, but the betterment of what historically took place, which we will have all learned from. Most recently, the Quad was formed. That's a relationship militarily and otherwise between the nations of Japan, the US, Australia, and India. Very key alliance. And as we know, Xi Jinping is looking at Taiwan. And to know that Japan and the US are so united, so strong, anything that we can do to better that relationship and to keep it strong, and I hope that the culture and arts people will do us proud. Thank you.
1896. 1897. Next page. 1898. 1899. 1900. Representative Perrick,
In opposition.
proceed.
I was briefed that this resolution, though the title says urging Congress to take immediate and decisive action to support middle and lower income households in America, within the be it resolved and whereas statements, it encourages gun restrictions. So from my understanding, then this resolution is saying that we're going to help lower income families and take decisive and immediate action by implying gun restrictions. I'm voting no.
Next page. 1901. 1902. 1903. 1904. 1905. 1906. Members will be taking a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion is carried. Representative Nakamura.
Mr. Speaker, I move to adopt Standing Committee Report numbers 1907-24 through 1925-24 as listed on pages 16 through 20, and that the accompanying Senate concurrent resolutions and House resolution as may be amended be adopted.
Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Any discussion on SANCOM Report 1907-24? 1908? Representative Pierrick,
In support.
proceed.
This measure would encourage speed bumps and speed reduction signs around Kapolei High School and Kapolei Middle School. Many of my constituents go to these schools, so I appreciate this. Thank you.
1909? 1910, next page, 1911, 1912, 1913, 1914, next page, 1915, 1916, 1917, next page, 1918, 1919. Representative Ward,
Speaker, strong support.
proceed.
This introduces the support for Taiwan, who, by the way, my colleague is now in Taiwan, and that's why he's absent and excused for a good reason. Taiwan, like Japan, is a strong ally, and this reso acknowledges that even though they're not a full member of the United Nations because of the difficulty with now what is China, it says let them have their observing status, which they have been in observing status. This kind of reaffirms that, maybe expands it to a small degree. But as we know, and I mentioned earlier, Xi Jinping has got his eyes on Taiwan. And if Xi Jinping goes towards Taiwan, I think all of us in the Pacific are going to be greatly stressed, in trouble, if not upset violently, and our economy and everything is going down the tube. So anything we can do for Taiwan, like a reso like this, keep them into the international community. Don't make them second-class citizens the way they are now. They are treated very, very poorly, and we've got to keep our eyes on what Xi Jinping is possibly doing with Taiwan. Thank you, Speaker.
1920, 1921, next page, 1922, 1923, 1924. Representative Hussey Burdick,
No vote.
so ordered. 1925, Representative Kila,
Mr. Speaker, no vote, brief comment.
proceed.
Per the State of Hawaii Land Use Commission, a new landfill site must be named by December 31st, 2022, and Waimanalo Gulch Sanitary Landfill must cease operations by March 2nd, 2028. And we are 1,417 days away from that date, and the county has yet to select a new landfill site. Thank you.
Representative Gates,
Same request.
so ordered. Representative Amato,
Same request, please.
so ordered. Representative Valcos,
In strong support.
proceed.
Putting the landfill out at the Waipio complex. It's actually a level ground area by Pearl Harbor. All that waste is going to be leaking into the ocean. What's happening to Red Hill right now with all that gas going into the ocean, all the pollution going into the ocean, after it goes into Pearl Harbor, it goes through the coastline of Eva District, and then goes to Campbell Industrial District, and hits Waianae Coast, and then the water goes out to the Pacific Ocean. It doesn't really flow all the way to the West Coast. But all that pollution that is going out, and it's not getting filtered by the land, it's going straight into the ocean from really close at that Pearl Harbor level. And having a dump site right in that area, you might as well just throw that rubbish into the ocean, into Pearl Harbor. It's pretty much as that is really gonna be a bad place to put a rubbish dump. I understand that we need a rubbish dump someplace else, but to take away the soccer complex that we already have for thousands of people using them on the weekend, and still not enough sports complex that we shortage of in our community, I just feel this location is really in need for these kids, and it's a bad area where we're thinking of putting the rubbish. It's a big challenge that we face, but strongly support that we try to look for someplace else. Thank you.
Representative Chan,
In support. Request written comments.
so ordered.
Thank you.
Representative Lamasao,
Strong support and permission to submit written comments as well.
so ordered.
Thank you.
Representative LaChica,
Strong support, permission to also insert written comments.
so ordered. Members will be taking a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion is carried. Item 6, announcements. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House stand adjourned until 11:30 a.m. tomorrow.
Representative Matsumoto.
I second the motion.
All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion is carried. The House stands adjourned until 11:30 a.m. tomorrow.